Let's get some analysis now from Richard Muller, who is a professor in the Department of Physics at the University of California at Berkeley and faculty senior scientist at the Lawrence Berkeley Laboratory. Thank you so much, Professor, for being with us on the program today. Now, the IAEA insists that this plan follows international safety standards, but there are still concerns that this could bring some harm to the ocean and to people around and surrounding that body of water. How legitimate are these concerns?
Well, people tend to get very concerned about anything having to do with radioactivity. But I visited Fukushima about 6 or 7 years ago and looked at this issue. The water was building up at that time and thought myself about what's the right thing to do. Concluded on my own that the right thing to do would be to dilute it and put it in the ocean. The reason is the level of radioactivity and the danger of the reactivity is so tiny that it's much smaller than the natural radioactivity that exists in the ocean already. I mean, a moment ago, I realized I would want to show you my watch. My
Mhm.
watch glows in the dark, and it glows in the dark because it contains tritium. I wear this every day, and I've worn it for decades. The old fashioned radioactivity of radium, I would never wear that. That's really dangerous. But tritium has the lowest energy beta particle. It doesn't even get out of my watch. You take a Geiger counter and put it right up to my watch, and you will detect nothing. I've done that. I have
Mhm.
Geiger counters here. So this is the least dangerous kind of radioactivity there is, and the levels are so low that it would be difficult for a scientist to even measure them. They're not the kind that get amplified by fish and so on. There are other kinds that do that, but not this kind.
Right.
My scientific conclusion is that this is the best and the safest way to dispose of it, and nobody's put at risk.
Okay, so walk us through the science behind it. They are using this advanced liquid processing system. How effective is the system? How does it work? And how does it clean the water from its radioactive elements?
Well, the basic idea is to remove from this everything except the tritium. So, or put it another way, remove the tritium from it. But there are other kinds of radioactivity that can be dangerous. The tritiated water in Fukushima comes from natural rainwater that is flowing down through the hillside to the Fukushima site and then coming out the other side. And then they put in catchers that capture this water because it picks up some radioactivity as it goes through, and particularly the tritium. So they've been putting these in these big tanks, and they've been doing it, quite frankly, because the public is afraid of the word radioactivity.
Hmm.
And it's not because, in my mind, it represents real danger. I mean, I've looked in great detail at the radiation effects of different kinds of radiation. I've studied what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I know all about radiation exposures from accidents from Fukushima. There was this very large release, which fortunately went out mostly over the ocean, but rather than go inland to affect the people. And back then, there might have been something in the fish that you could have detected. But the tritium is the most benign kind. As I say, I work on my watch, and they're diluting it before they put it in.
Hmm.
So my scientific evaluation is that this is certainly well within the safety standards. The safety standards are
Right.
very strict. They are designed so that if you get at the safety level, you
Hmm.
have a chance in 10,000
Right.
of developing cancer, or a chance in 100,000. So it's really extremely safe.
Hmm. Well,
And I just
the IAEA has passed their judgment on this project, saying that it does abide by international safety standards. Professor, unfortunately, that's all the time I have left here on TRT World, but thank you
okay.
so much for that analysis and joining us.